In today's Leeds news, Farke Award, Fantatics Partnership, positives for owner investments, AC Milan versus Leeds in Dublin, Hamerlink emerges, Leeds Kasper Dolberg stance, and Kalimuendo interest returns. Hey folks, Stu here, Wednesday morning the 28th of May with your Leeds United news. Hope you're all having a really good day so far. There's a little bit of news to get stuck into today. We'll keep an eye on the bigup.com channel as well. We will be doing kind of more in-depth versions of the news over the next couple of days and weeks to kind of get into a little bit more detail in a longer style format for those who want to come over and have a chat over there. It will be linked down below in the description. But let's crack on and talk about today's news, and we'll start off with some good news for Daniel Farke. After missing out on the EFL Championship Manager of the Year award, Daniel Farke last night got some congratulations as he picked up the LMA Championship Manager of the Year award. Farke finishes the season having broken an absolute ton of records at Leeds United this season and becomes the 5th Leeds United manager to deliver a title, and will now guide Leeds United back into this Premier League, and will hopefully see a positive return from that decision next year. Let's move on. Let's talk about a partnership that was announced a while ago and some new detail on this, and in a revamp that is coming to the Leeds United online store and possibly the Ellen Road mega stores as well. There has been some news on the Fantatics Partnership. In November, Leeds announced a brand new partnership with US based apparel company Fantatics. Fantatics are described as a global digital sports platform and leading provider of licensed merchandise, which will enhance the retail experience for Leeds fans across the world. The partnership sees Fantatics become the exclusive operator of Leeds United's online store, as well as physical bricks and mortar stores across the city in Leeds. Fantatics work with more than 900 clubs and organisations around the world to improve shopping experiences, as they worded, and the online revamp is scheduled for this summer, so likely to start seeing changes of that in the next coming weeks, and more so into when the new kits start being launched for the new 2025-26 season. Fantatics are probably better known for their partnerships with the NFL, NBA, MLB over in America, but they've also got partnerships with Juventus, Serie A and other leagues as well, and are growing that shopping brand around the world. What this means for Leeds United fans, they have depots all around the world, so this may speed up the operation in terms of getting kits from the online store to your house, no matter where you are in the world, and it might even bring down the shipping cost. Not confirmed just yet, that depends on lots of factors, but if there is a distribution centre locally, you might be able to get a discount on your shipping costs as well. So it could be an interesting one, but it definitely opens Leeds up to a wider shopping market around the world for their apparel, and as kits and training gear and all of this stuff is revenue for the club, getting more revenue that way from a PSR perspective is always nice to have and to see. Let's move on. Let's talk about positives from the owner's investments. And football finance expert Dr. Dan Plumley has written in his piece this week about Leeds' increased owner investment, and he sees it as a real positive for the club moving into next season. Leeds, as we know, raised an additional 120 million by issuing new shares to existing shareholders, and that money has been earmarked for two different areas: Elland Road redevelopment and the summer transfer market this summer. Dr. Plumley said that this is a real big statement of intent from the owners to establish themselves as a Premier League club next season. The word established is being used regularly in comms coming out of Elland Road at the minute. On the investment and what it means to Leeds, Dr. Dan Plumley said the following: "It's a big statement, especially with the direct line on what it's earmarked for. It's pretty clear. We kind of expected that a little bit with the predictions with Leeds. It's a big push with Elland Road and otherwise. It's pretty clear now that the kind of investment over the top of that, with some of it earmarked for transfers, that they are going to have a really good go at staying in the league, and we've talked about the benefits of Elland Road's expansion and everything that comes with that. They will have benefits regardless of that, but more if you are a Premier League club. So it's a real statement of intent that you can see where their owners are pushing to try and go, stay up and grow there as well. The more important part about that investment will be how that money is spent rather than it being spent. A successful summer and an successful investment of this will be delivered on the pitch, and we'll see if these signings and the investment makes a bigger deal when the season starts and we see how Leeds line up next season. But let's move on and talk about the finally being announced officially friendly in Dublin. And finally yesterday we had the announcement that AC Milan will take on Leeds United at the Aviva Stadium on August the 9th at 3 p.m. in Dublin. Tickets are available through Ticketmaster, and there are some pre-sale codes floating around for anybody who wants to get them right now. If not, they go on general sale. I think it's Thursday and Friday this week, but you can check out all the details on Ticketmaster. Kalimuendo.com, and if you are looking for a pre-sale code, have a look at the Leeds United groups that are floating around on Facebook as well. This is the first time that Leeds will be in Ireland in the last 9 years, after having a rich history of attending Ireland pretty much annually. It was where I got to see Leeds every single year, was lining out at Talca Park against Shelbourne or League of Ireland select side. So it's great to see them coming back to Ireland and playing in the Aviva Stadium as well. Leeds adding AC Milan to their summer plans along with Manchester United and Villarreal shows a real calibre of side that Leeds are lining up as they get ready for the Premier League and getting this side all kitted out and ready to go for what will be a tough season ahead. Let's move on to some transfer links, and it was likely to pop up, and it's popped up, and no one should be surprised at this, but it was going to happen after Sheffield United lost their playoff final and missed out on promotion to the Premier League. So here it is. According to TalkSport, Gustavo Hamer will leave Sheffield United this summer and has been linked with a move to Leeds United or Everton in the summer window. Hamer picked up the Championship Player of the Year award last season, and Daniel Farke did try to sign him last summer and was accused by Chris Wilder at that point of trying to disrupt his dressing room after getting a bargain Jayden Bogle signing not long before that. However, Hamer did end the season with 18 goals and assists, one less goal last season than Brendan Aronson, but did play a lot less games than Brendan. TalkSport claimed that Hamer is one of the Blades players that the ownership are resigned to seeing leave this summer, and with 2 years left on his current deal, that could impact the fee that Leeds could put in for him should they decide to make a move. Hamer is a naturally talented player, had a very good year in the Premier League despite Sheffield United struggling, but last season there was some criticism around his conditioning as well as his temperament, as he picked up 13 yellow cards and was suspended for that as well last year. Physical conditioning led to some injuries as well, where he only played 36 of their 46 league games, so that will be a factor to take into consideration. But he is a set-piece dead ball specialist, which Leeds would need. He is a creative number 10, and he is a more physical player in that role as well, so there could be some interest in that, but we'll keep an eye on it. Right now, there's no formal approaches. It's just said that Leeds are interested, and that's where we'll be until the window opens this Saturday. But let's move on. Let's talk about some striker options. There's 2 striker stories floating around on the back pages today. And in the last couple of days, Leeds have been mentioned with some level of interest in Anderlecht striker Kasper Dolberg. A report from Voteball Krant claims that Leeds United have expressed interest in Dolberg, but that they would have to comply with Anderlecht's pricing if they were to get the striker in. Anderlecht reportedly value Dolberg at in and around €15 million, so about £12.8 million. Not a massive amount of money for a striker, but they would like to get more than that in, as every club would, you can imagine. Dolberg is said to be very happy at Anderlecht right now and isn't said to be pushing for a move away from the club, but if he was to move, the report says that Leeds would have competition from Fulham this summer if they were to try and prize Dolberg away. This season, Dolberg started 30 times for the Belgian side, scoring 18 goals and adding 1 assist, so 19 GNA in 30 games in the Belgian top flight. I think they finished 4th in the league as well, so but they have qualified for Europe. The main vibe with this story seems to be that there's some level of interest. Leeds may have put a feeler out to check around the interest and the pricing level of the player. But again, as of most of these deals right now, it seems to be part of a short list of players that Leeds are looking at rather than formal moves being made at this stage. But let's move on to the final transfer story of the day, and this one is a return of an older name that we should be familiar with. Back in 2022, Leeds were said to have interest in Paris Saint-Germain striker Arnaud Kalimuendo, and reports even went as far to suggest that Leeds were very close to getting a deal done before the striker then ended up moving to Stade Rennes for £21 million. Reports today suggest that with 2 years left on his current deal, Rennes could be about to try and cash in on the striker, and Leeds have been mentioned with interest yet again. Kalimuendo has impressed during his time at Rennes. He has scored increased levels of goals every single season after season, and if Leeds were to make a move for the striker, they would face serious competition from Newcastle United, who have Champions League football now next season. Kalimuendo scored 18 times last season in France and added 4 assists as well, as Rennes finished 12th in League 22 GNA from a player in a mid-table side is not bad at all for him, but Kalimuendo averages a goal every 152 minutes, and that is shortening every season as his output increases, and he is able for the physical battle as well. He can mix it up. He's got a high percent of duels won as well, but fee wise he's priced at in and around £20 million mark, but given that he has 2 years left on his contract, there could be some haggle room there. But again, the fact that Rennes paid £21 million for him 2 years ago, the fact that he has progressively scored more goals year in and year out and is heading towards his peak years, you would imagine that a transfer fee likely closer to £30 million would be needed to get a deal done for Kalimuendo. He was mentioned with Leeds around about the time of Cody Gakpo, Willie Gnonto, and then as well Bamba Dieng was mentioned at that time as well. So Kalimuendo was in and around that time where Leeds were trying to bring a striker in. But if you look at his numbers, he has scored more goals every single season. So he's very much coming in to his peak years and showing an ability to get better and better every single season. Not a guarantee with all of these that any of these players are genuine links. They're all reports and stories right now. We'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks. We'll wait till Saturday till the window opens and we can get a proper look at what's likely to happen and see if Leeds make any quick moves out of the gate. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Folks, again, keep an eye on the Big Up channel this week, bigup.com. Search for Leeds United The View. Become a member. It's free to become a member. There's no cost on it, no ads, nothing over there. And we'll delve into these stories in a bit more detail over the next coming days and weeks as well. And a reminder that the Content Creator Cup takes place on July 20th in the John Charles Stadium for Sport in Leeds. Details down below in the description if you want to come to that game as well. I'll talk to you tomorrow. See you then. Bye.